I would like to know what have you learned from your characters in this new season?
Um, I've learnt, I think, that you must keep watering your hope, and that
All right. Guys, they got a shush. Nib's talking. Sorry.
and that kind of
Yeah.
it's good to be able to imagine a beautiful world, and you should be proud of that. And that hope is beautiful.
Nice. What about you?
Sorry?
He's organizing stuff.
That's right. Sorry, it's just like herding cats in Middle Earth. I just, what have I learned from my character? I like to think of him as like a loving parental figure. The idea of to love a child is you climbed up in that tree, now get yourself down. And he does quite a bit of that. Not in a condescending way, but that to love someone in a state of becoming is to give them space to become. And that's hard to do when you think you know the answer. It's hard to do when you've been alive for 2,000 plus years. And also, when peace doesn't work, when do you take the gloves off?
I just asked, what were you going to say?
It's hard, don't
I know
worry.
I'm good. No, Sauron's
right.
character. I
Okay.
just asked him, what was he trying to do in like seducing your character to the dark side? What was the goal? He said that it wasn't like really a marriage. It was really going to be he was going to be in charge and he was just going to use you.
Yes.
Don't listen to this.
So
It was
I
real.
think that's often the
how
way.
did you see it?
Well, I think she just couldn't see the wood for the trees, and she ultimately thought that that her stars had aligned in a way that they hadn't for many centuries, and she kind of got drunk on that hope. And I think that she was an elf alone. She was quite far away from her elfness and was approaching a cynicism, and he really got in there. But I think what's so scary about Sauron is he's such an effective, evil guy.
He's called the Great Deceiver.
yeah.
Cut her some slack.
Yeah. But he exploits people's strengths, not their weaknesses, which it makes the elves very vulnerable to him because they're very proud of their strengths.
He's also incredibly handsome.
Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah. And well dressed this season as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like on that, if you were to decide to like give another crack in season 2 with him, I just feel like some fans would understand. So it's okay. But speaking of dubious decisions, there was a few moments in season 1 where Galadriel maybe made some questionable decisions. And this kind of got to the end of season 1 and was like reflecting on it. Is season 2 kind of on the same path, or is it like she's really realised that it's kind of where she's gone wrong in the past and is trying to correct that?
Well, she's also kind of. It's not just a personal kind of failure. She's affected everything, and so she's got to be accepted back into her realm. And I think that's the thing that kind of changes her the most and protects her most from Sauron, is this desire to be part of Middle-earth again and not like this lone soldier.
And you'll get back together now. We skipped over that part. That's okay.
Sorry.
Kate Blanchett actually plays your character, obviously, in older version.
Yes.
And I don't know, obviously, you're very capable. I've seen you take on.
Oh, nice.
But has her performance as an older version of your character informed the way that you play a younger version of her?
Yes, definitely. I mean, I grew up on those films and can quote them all, so it would have been the hugest task to try and unlearn everything I'd got from them. And it's lovely knowing where my character ends up. And so, yeah, it's kind of this guiding light of Kate Blanchett's Galadriel. And, yeah, give me time. Get there.
They're both based on the lore. I mean, they both come from the same guiding light. It's inevitable that there would be some cross-pollination and some celebration of each version, but there's enough room at the table of Tolkien for everyone.
So season 2 is supposed to be the season of the villain, and it's supposed to go darker, but how would you guys describe it?
I like to think of it as Oppenheimer. Go with me. Go with me. We have this new technology, and we can either save the world or blow it up.
Didn't think I'd go there, did you?
Nice.
Looks like an atomic.
Yeah, well, we got rings now. And it's 3 hours long.
How would you describe it?
I think there's a lot of bravery in this season. I mean, you're seeing people conquer their fear in the face of what seems like inevitable darkness. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Is she pretty much singular focus this season? Like, she only has one goal, nothing else is going to distract her, or she multitasking?
No, I think she's kind of raw and open to everyone else again. I think she'd shut herself off so much. I like to think of that Sylvia Plath line for her this season, where it's like, what is it like? It's a terrible thing to be so open. It's as if my heart put on a face and went out into the world. And I think that's kind of what Sauron's forced her to be. Yeah, so she's raw. Yes.
Thank you for singing.
Well, I wish they'd given me a heads up.
That was so good.
Oh, that's very kind of you to say, because, he really sprung that one on me.
Really? Because it really felt like...
Well, I'll tell you, I stood up. Once I answer this question, let's just all laugh as loud as we can, just to give them help. Luckily, I mean, we shot some of the musical scenes over 3 or 4 days, so there was some kind of muscle memory I was counting on. But the reason I stood up is because it gave me 4 or 5 more seconds to remember the Elvish. I was like, okay, I've hemmed and hawed down here too long.
Very
Also, a
impressed.
power stance.
Yeah, well, that's what I was going for, but it was not. It was purely. And
I didn't
how
know
does
if you were
this
about to just
go?
leg it out.
Yeah,
You got
well,
up. I was like, oh.
I was poised
He's
for
gone.
either one. He's either going to sing or run.
Yeah.
Do I? All right. So the pig says, is it Thursday already?